Ooh, that's really loud. Okay. Hello, everybody. AOG Gaming here, back with another video on Dislyte. So, people have been having problems with Andras. He's a really hard boss. And so is Shade, Shadow, what are they called? The new boss. It's like three different names at this point. Well, no, there's only one name, but three different names that were circulating at one time. So Andrus is very annoying to deal with. However, he gives you some of the most broken sets we've seen so far. Um, the crit damage set, I forgot what it's called, the Thor set. It's really powerful now because it does so much damage to bosses, but it doesn't work against Andrus. So yeah, for new content, not really helpful. But for everything else, it's fine. Yeah, and I haven't really gotten or haven't been grinding for any of these sets except for this one, the relief set. The relief set is so broken. I don't know how many times we have to say it. Like, there's so many comps that already use Avatara, and this doesn't proc off of it. I don't think so. It might though, because there's a really small chance. So it could have you could just get really bad RNG or just be really unlucky. That might be me. But to be fair though, I've seen it proc a pretty decent amount of times, like 3 times in like 2 turns. So I think it's really nice. And the reason I can proc it multiple times per turn is because I don't have multiple wearers. So it says 25% chance of performing an assist attack on targets when they cast their basic ability, and they do it with their basic ability, obviously. Only triggers once per turn when there are multiple wearers. However, if you only have one wearer, that single character can proc a lot of times. And the reason this is broken is because you have espers like, oh, I don't know, Camille, Haiti. She has one of the most broken S1s, as I've said multiple times, because she's going to extend all debuffs on the enemy by 1 turn. And it can be resisted, but when she's doing this multiple times, she also has Avatar set, so when she gets attacked, she's going to proc again. So it's so broken, and she also deals 115% damage on her basic. So she's going to be dealing basically a little bit more than the attack that you give her. I have 3,000 attack on her. She's going to be dealing like 3.5, so 3,500 attack every basic attack, which is not a lot, but it's a decent amount. It's more than a poison stack or a bleed. So very good. Um, and as you can see, I don't have a great team for Andrus. Well, I think it's a good team, but I don't have a good team in sense of like poisons. But people need to read just the text a little bit. So, and of course, it's not just about that. Lilith didn't tell us that they were immune to poison. It didn't say anywhere. For Daddy Free to Play has talked about this. So has other creators like Zox's Kun, and those are the main two I watch. But yeah, they didn't tell us that this boss had basically one of the highest poison immunities. So using a poison team is fine, but you just have to wait so long, and that's why you need a lot of buff extenders on a poison team. Hilda does most of the job. You really only need one more, because then you can just increase the stacks by an insane amount, and you need like a avatar set or something. Not really, because Hilda is gonna. She has basically buff extender on all of her attacks, I think, or two of them. So you already have two buff extends on one character. So as long as the 2 turn debuff, then you can at least not guarantee. Well, if Hilda has 100% accuracy and you're below 15 or 16 on Andrews, then yes, for the most part it works. But yeah, and you can't crit on him. Crit rate becomes 50% upon entering combat. When attacking a target with created above Andros's attacks all their extends all their ability cooldowns to the max. So all my characters have less than 50% crit rate. That is why I'm doing this. And it has made this team so broken, so much better. Before it wasn't. So I was like, oh, this team is not so great. But then I realized, well, why don't I just give them less crit rate? Yes, they're going to do less damage, but I gave them mostly attack, HP, accuracy, speed, just giving them a lot of other stats and beefing them up. And rather than doing a lot of crit damage, I just gave them a lot of attack. Um, so yeah, and then allies take increased damage from non-critical hits. So really good having AOE, but you have to have not a lot of criticals. And then obviously poisons and bleeds are non-critical damage ticks. Um, the reason I'm mentioning bleed and poison is because we do have the the set, whatever it's called. I forget what it's called. The enchanted set. There we go. So it's going to when inflicting a poison or bleed has a 30% chance extending duration by one turn. Now you don't really need to use this. Um, Maybe if you're doing more free to play like Kara and Sekhmet, or no, that is Kara, I think. Kara or Jacob, Jorguman, whatever his name is. So they're very good espers. However, I don't have them maxed out. Like I said many times before, I have messed up my count in the past. Um, Mostly because Dislyte was in its infancy, so the way you used espers was different. But yeah, I definitely ruined my count. Um, so I'm building Jacob because I finally got him to R6 like 3 days ago. So he will be one of the best espers on my team, mostly for his his S3, um, or his third ability, his super, whatever. Because he's going to inflict poison, and then he does the Fang thing on his second, right? Okay, sorry, his second ability. Because I've realized Leon is really broken in this. I'll talk about her a little bit in a little bit. She's really broken because the enemies take a lot of turns and they're all AoE, so you have to have AoE support. That's why I have um what's her name? Abigail, Frigga, and Jiao or Leon. Um because they're both very good at AoE support, and I give them Ocean so they can proc their ability. I don't have any of their skills maxed up, or even like ability up leveled up at all. So you just need a lot of AoE support. And poison is really good. So Jacob, you know, with the fangs is really good. So I'm really happy that I got him to R6. So I'm gonna start building him. Hopefully, have him for Andrus. Um, but yeah, I mean, other than that, I don't really have anyone else. I have to get Hilda. Like I have to Hypnos Hilda. She's gonna be amazing on my team. Because that's what I've been using so far. But I've been using my friends. So I have two friends with Hilda. So I've been pushing by using those two Hildas, um, which isn't helpful for achievements, but it's helpful for grinding equipment because some of the equipment is so broken. Like I said, so yeah, I think I'm gonna be using Jacob just to try and consistently smooth out my runs, because it still works as long as you land some poison debuffs. And something people are sleeping on: seer debuffs. Seer debuffs are so broken. They have been the one thing that has been pushing me, and specifically Camille. She's a free esper. She extends debuffs. She gives seer and she gives bleed, and you can extend bleeds with the enchanted said. However, I advise you just to make her spam her S1 um, with the relief set and the avatar set, because then she'll just extend all the debuffs, and all you need is espers that land debuffs. Or you can have well, I mean, the boss and the minions give you attack and defense down, so you can use not debuff cleansers, but debuff transfers. Like I guess the best one would be. Oh no, that won't work. So I was gonna say Nyx, Elaine, but she's a crit character, so that doesn't work. Um, See, like I said, crit doing this whole crit mechanic ruins like 90% of the characters. So now it's 100% pay to win because now you need specific characters and you need them maxed out. Um, there's a lot of epic espers you can use. Well, not really. There's only two, Kara and Jacob, and then there's two legendaries. But really, Hilda's the best. Ife Metzasurger or whatever her name is, she is good, but she's mostly just about landing poisons. She doesn't really extend the debuffs, and with the amount of turns that the boss takes, it's just annoying. Um, but you can use Haiti. I think that's probably what they were trying to tell us, that Hades really broken. Camille is one of the best espers to have just because of the amount of debuffs she lands and the amount of extend she's gonna get, just because of the relief set and the avatar set. So you can have healers like I guess AP pusher like Clara. I don't have her because I don't know. I like Abigail. She's pushing Hilda so she can land all her poisons. I think for the most part. Um, I'll do gameplay video later today because I have to wait till I refresh because I was doing more testing before I did a video. Sorry for waiting so long. Um, and there's been a lot about the update that I've just been keeping my eye on. I usually do this so I can give my full report and tell you guys like what I think. So, should you get Hilda for early game? It doesn't really matter so much. You can probably just use Jacob and Haiti. If you get Ife, you can use her. If you get Hilda, you can definitely use her. And you can use Kara as well and Jacob. So just a combination of all these espers, really good. You do want some debuff extenders. So the reason I say Haiti is the best is because she's free. Everyone gets her, and R6 is also free. And even if her R6 takes forever to get, getting her to R4 it does not take that long. Um, and at Resonance 4, I believe what does she do at R4? She gains lifesteal when below 60% HP. So you don't need to give her lifesteal anymore, which I find insanely good. They just, well, they give you this character for free, which is good because this is one of the best characters in the game, just content wise. Um, yeah, you have to put her on specific teams, you have to build her a specific way, but that goes for a lot of characters. Um, and you do have to build a team, not kind of around her, but sort of. Uh, but I will say now with the relief set, you don't have to build a team around her, and she can be her own unit. She will extend debuffs, and she will land debuffs. That's it. So sear, diseased, and bleed, and then she will tick down the bleed. So you might not be able to extend the bleed depending on how your procs work. But if you're able to proc the relief set and the avatar set enough times on Camille, you basically got an infinite debuff extender. Um, and the more turns the enemy takes, the more chances you have of procking other teammates with Avatara, which can proc the relief set, I will say. So you basically have a guaranteed proc. So you're going to extend the debuffs. And then you have Hilda, which is extending the poison debuffs anyway. And then with her S1, she's going to extend the debuffs just in general. So I was going to give Hilda once I get her Avatara. And you're going to see some really just disgusting shenanigans. Because Seer, this character, Haiti Camille, inflicts Seer. People are sleeping on this. I've done 8,000 with just one of her basics on the boss, and it is ridiculous. No crit, obviously. But yeah, just it was 8,500, something like that, or 8,439, something like that. But really broken. And then, of course, when I get her to R6, she is going to be insanely better because then I can guarantee that she's going to at least increase that seer. Because it's hard. You have to get the proc at the right time. It's after you take all your ultimates because your abilities have to be on cooldown for some of your other characters, so they just use their basics or they proc with their avatara. And then you have to have the seer debuff before the boss takes a turn, so that Camille can take her proc turn and then um, extend the debuffs every single one. And it's so broken because there's so many debuffs. There's speed down, there's disease, there's seer, there's bleed, there's poison, and it just is really annoying for the boss. I think for me it's insanely cool and broken. But I want to do a separate video for gameplay because I want to do full gameplay and explain it. Whereas this, I'm gonna just explain the teams, the stats, and what I'm doing with them. So yeah, I've had R6 Camille, which I'm very close to. I have A plus on the Inferno Shade Desolate Land, whatever it is. So I'm very close to getting S, but it's really hard. You need specific gear and characters, and I don't have the characters. And I'm slowly getting the gear, but yeah, it's just really hard to get S. I'm so close. I'm like 300k damage, which is not a lot considering that I have characters with like 400k attack. Um, so yeah, you just need some crit rate, some attack up. I need to basically max out my Alice and get some resos on her, but of course that might be impossible because I have her R0, so she's good, but R0, and I don't have all her skills maxed up except for her ultimate, which is mostly what I needed her for. But if I can get her S1 maxed out, then that'll be insane. Okay, so off topic now. I went off topic. Sorry. I'm gonna drink some water real quick because you lose a lot of moisture just talking and breathing. Also, my allergies are just ah insanely there. So I do apologize if I sound stuffed. So yeah, Haiti extremely broken. Amunet. So the reason I use Amunet is because if the boss is not debuffed, so let's actually go back. Um, that's one of his abilities, right? When entering combat, deals extra damage when not debuffed. So you want to deal a lot of debuffs to him and extend them. Um, but he's gonna take his turn at the beginning pretty fast unless you have a speed lead. So I have Amunet just to spam the well, first she procs with the Avatar, so she's going to use her basic inflict disease on all the enemies, and then she's going to heal, so it's really nice for a counterattack. Because then you don't have to have as reliable healing. So Leon and Abigail, even though they're R0, have no ability leveled up. They just have the Ocean set to max proc their abilities. Um, they're going to be insanely good because they're going to heal, and then all of their supports are going to be very helpful. And that extra little heal is just going to be just enough to keep my characters alive. Of course, I gave her Hades set, so she's going to heal anyway. Um, and all my characters, as you can see, have less than 50% crit rate. Because I explained before, Andras has 50% crit rate, and with his ability, upon attacking a target with crit rate above his, he will extend all their ability cooldowns to the max, and you don't want that. Um, so that's why they have a lot of attack. So 3k attack on Zora, which is a decent amount. Camille has 3k as well. Abigail, not a lot. And then Leon, not a lot as well. But they have a lot of HP, and then accuracy, they have a decent amount. Um, I mean, it doesn't really matter on Jiao too, because I mean, she's gonna land the attack down, but it's only a 60% chance. But it's still really good. So yeah, Abigail is just there for support and healing. She's really good because of the defense up and recovery and shield, and both of her S1 and sorry S2 and S3 are gonna give buffs to all of your allies. So you're gonna at least keep your allies not just alive because they're healing with either absorb or shield, or sorry, recovery. Oh no, she gives it on start. Well, defense and shield, I guess they're gonna mitigate damage. Um, and with her S3, they're gonna heal with the absorb, and with the attack up, it's gonna be more healing and dealing extra damage. I do have to mention. and then also of course healing. Well, no, only if they're revived. Only if she revives them. Okay, never mind. She doesn't heal them, but she gives them absorb, so it's fine. And then she's gonna restore her own HP, which is nice. So she's gonna keep herself alive. Leon, insanely good in this event, because especially in the later floors, because Andras is just gonna take so many teams. He takes a ridiculous amount of teams, and then with that, all of his minions are gonna be doing AOE attacks every time. They only do it one, or they hit twice, I think maybe. I have to see again. But there's just five of them, so you're gonna be hit at least six times, and then with Leon, she's gonna give defense up, shield, and then heal, and then Abigail will mitigate some of the damage when you don't have the dream bubble up, and then also with the absorb up, she'll let your team heal, and then my team all has a little bit of healing, except for Haiti. She doesn't have any healing on her. Um, and neither does Hypnose or Hilda when I get her, and also the ones I've been using, which are my teammates or my friends, um, because you want her to proc as much. So healing doesn't matter because she's going to be your main debuffer and debuff extender. Um, and then of course Hilda will as well, but she's gonna be doing her poisons mostly. So yeah, and then of course I've been using. I'll show you guys. Actually, what is it? 4, 5 or 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. 4, 5 or 6 p.m. There, the refresh happened, so I can use these characters again. But as you can see, only two of my friends have Hilda, and yeah, Zudokai and Dimblub. So I've been using their characters. Thank you very much. This is why I love this feature. So helpful. I wish you could use helpers in every game mode because it would just to like test honestly. Um, but it'd be nice if they help you push content because it's helping me push an Andrus, which is really nice for getting the sets so that when I do get Hilda, I can have more consistent runs. So yeah, as you can see, their Hildas are pretty decent. Dimblubs is decent, I would say, because the defense is not as high as you need it, and the attack is actually where you kind of want it. Like 2K is fine. The defense you want like 3K or above, I would say. I mean, defense is hard to get unless you basically have all the sets on defense. Um, which I would say is fine for Hilda, which is what I would put on her when I get her is the ocean set. I have it on CJ right now, Kangji. I think that's the name, right? Uh, wait, I'm pretty sure one of my teammates has a kanji. Nope. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? Oopsies. Sorry. I can just check here. CJ kanji, right? Yeah. Okay. So I have a lot of defense on him. Well, not at the moment, but as you can see, it's already 2,700, and I don't even have a full set on him. I have some more ocean pieces that do increase defense. Um, Mainly they give defense bonuses, so that'll be a lot of defense. But I'll put that on Hilda when I get her. I have 34 wish stones, but I'm like 17 gold records from a legendary. Of course, I've been getting shit because this game's record draws the chances. There's a 1% chance of getting a legendary. I only know like I know zero other games actually that have that. So Dislyte, you guys are the worst company for that because I know even Mortal Kombat Mobile, you have like an 18% chance of getting a legendary from packs. It's so much better. From this game, a 1% chance, and then you have a shitty 100% chance at the 100th draw. And most games give you like 10 draws and you get a guaranteed legendary. So if you don't want to keep slowly like dying this light, I would say increase your chances. Just bring them up because really 1% chance to get a legendary is just trash. Literally, that's impossible. And getting you know a legendary every 100 times is like you kind of it loses its luster after the first two times because then you're like, I have to go through this whole long ass process of summoning 100 times every single time. And late game, you don't get that many. Like you get 65 to golden records at most. And then when the events come, maybe a little bit more. End game, you get maybe some more. But really, the beginning of late game is just so dry. It just sucks. And this new content they released, it really has me doing nothing much but like I don't even have Hilda because she's a pay to win Esper, so pay to get Esper. Really, I think they should have just released a free Esper for everybody as an apology because they have been diminishing the game quality and they've been working on this other game and they're saying it's not affecting this game, but how can it not be? How can it not be? Um, yeah, the Shade Mother or whatever Shadow Mother, whatever her name is, uh, and then Andras, they sounded really cool on paper. They came out, they're kind of meh, and they're also pay to win. So it really shows that Dislyte was not focused on the right thing. You want to know what they did really good in this update? The one thing that I will credit them for that they probably spent their ass off after they realized that the community was turning against them, and hopefully I don't want people to turn against them because they did create a great game just like animation character wise and mechanic wise, but not like experience wise, draw wise, and like just the game itself. It's supposed to be a gotcha, but the gotcha is the worst thing about it. Literally, there are hundreds of other gotcha games with way better draw rates and getting a lot characters a lot faster. And they do the same thing where they have the slowdown at the end. They're a lot better. Of course, this light has gone better, just for early game, but late game it's just horrible. I am not enjoying this game anymore. It's mundane. It's the same thing over and over again, and really, they're releasing espers slower now, and it's only one at a time. Well, of course, they have some epics, but um, only late game players like I can get maybe R1 or R2 of that character. No, actually, I was able to get like 5 boxes last time, but it was a lot easier to get the tokens. So I don't know. We'll see. And then of course, I don't really have to explain Hilda. She's gonna extend the debuffs on my team. So let's get back to this real quick, just to close it off. Oh, I was on the wrong thing. Sorry. So yeah, and then Zudokaz is really helpful for this previous floor. Um, just because he gave her 100% accuracy and a lot of defense. So that's really good. But yeah, she's gonna all their debuffs plus one turn on her first. So that's why I want to give her Avatara, but I want to make sure her defense is enough. Because I do have a lot of defense on that set as well. I did use a defense set on Kongji, so maybe I'll just have the Ocean set because that'll let her proc at least her third ability, which will increase debuffs, right? Oh no, it inflicts plus two on yeah. Because her first and second are just for poison, right? Yeah, interesting. So I do want to give her. Well, no, because I guess Camille is fine. Camille does enough debuff extends because she does have two sets on her that extend her debuff. So I'll play around with it a little bit more when I have Hilda. Play around with the setup, the team. But yeah, I don't think I need to have Avatara, so I'll just give her a lot of defense. Yeah, I'll just give her Kanji set. Um, yeah, because the relief set is just one of the best things to come to the game. Um, yeah, that's another thing I do have to credit Lilith Games for. The equipment that they have released so far, really good, and the balances that they've made have made the game a little bit better. I do agree, and I don't know how far it's going for content wise. So far, it's helping other characters really shine. Camille was good without the relief set, but with the relief set, and in combination with Avatar as well, now she's just insanely good because she'll use especially R6 because people don't realize she will use her R3 and then her R2 because she already gains that extra turn with her R6, and then she will just have her basic attack to rely on. So all you do is target the boss. You put on AI because it's fine. You can run it on AI, um, and as long as one of your teammates uses their basics, which they will a lot, especially with Zora, because she will use Emunet, because she will use her basic with her second ability and her third ability. The thing is, I don't think she procs. Yeah, Haiti doesn't proc off of this, or the relief set doesn't proc, because it's when they cast the basic ability, not when they pursue, um, which is what she's going to be doing a lot. She's going to be pursuing, but it does proc of the Avatara because it's a counterattack. So when they counterattack, they still are casting their basic ability, but when they're pursuing, they're not counterattacking because they're using it as part of their as part of that ability that has the pursuit tagged with it. So keep that in mind. That's why the new Esper, the new S4, the new Epic Esper, I forgot her name. The one that has basic ability minus 99 AP. I forgot her name. That's why she's really good at procking, but she doesn't proc with everything except she does do it with Avatara. So Avatara is still one of the best sets to use on this boss, I think. And you really only need one character, especially if you're going to use Hilda and Camille with the relief set and Avatara, because um, she's going to be using that basic attack a lot. So yeah, that's my team. I'm gonna see how far it takes me. Hopefully, it takes me to at least 15. If I can beat 16, I will be ecstatic. Because the team has survived everything and they've pretty much destroyed the boss like really fast. Let me see if I have any turn um records. Oh no, because I've been using helper espers, right? Yeah. So this one was 179 only because I was not using. Oh, I was using Pazuzu. So, because I have bleeds, so I was thinking, you know what? Why don't we just use bleeds? But you need a little bit more debuff extension. So having Hilda in that regard is insanely useful. Um, Plus also the fact that she's gonna do poison, so she's gonna be dealing a lot more damage that is not critical. And Pazuzu was good, but I don't know. I don't have the right setup to spam his third skill using his passive. When an enemy makes their allies bleed end early. So okay, can I like just? Because I have to go through the whole thing, don't I? Yeah. So I'm gonna show this later because this is more gameplay. So as you can see, my Camille is just cracked. She deals a lot of damage. But yeah, so that's my team, and it's been working really well. I think there's sleep. People are sleeping on Camille because of the relief set. You just need it on her. You don't need it on any other character, but you need also to have Avatar on her and maybe one other character, just to proc that basic ability. What is it? I guess it's a assist. Yeah, basic ability assist. It's not a pursuit. So assist. Yeah. So really, really broken. Really, really broken. I think that's gonna do it for this video. So I just want to show you my Andras team and yeah, what I've been doing. So another thing I do want to mention before I end the video is um, they need to add more content to the club for Sentinel Hunt because I think you can only get the normal sets right so far from these characters. So like if I blitz here real quick, you only get the normal sets. See what I'm talking about? So you can grind these sets, which are really nice. And then obviously Ocean Set because I've been grinding Ocean Set like crazy. Nothing good because they're all um, only tier 2 instead of tier 4 relics or superior or flawless, whatever you want to use. Um, And then you can also get them from shops. So keep that in mind. The daily shop, you can renew it pretty easily. I don't know what notice was about, but whatever. So yeah, here you can get new sets. Not usually very good, but sometimes you get mythic, superior, which is decent. Like you can still use them. Still pretty good pieces of equipment. Of course, you want flawless. Flawless will give you the best uh, stats, but it is what it is. So I'm thinking of using this as well, especially on Amunet, but she's taking a decent amount of damage, so I don't know unless I can get enough health. Because then if she's dealing extra damage, then she's gonna be doing insane. Like she's just gonna be destroying, and she heals enough that I don't need the Hades set on her. It's just convenient, especially for later floors. But we'll see. Hades set is still meta, I think. Um, Honestly, if you could build a full team that has healing, um, especially like a tanky team, for the most part, I don't think that really matters anymore. Now that they released a set that can decrease damage taken, and you just have that on tier, and basically, well, you're indestructible. So yeah, really broken. Okay, so we have a few sets here. So this one too, the brawler set, really good on Brewster. Big surprise there. But you need to have him R2 for the most part because he's gonna be using those reload stack threes at the beginning because he already gains them at the start of combat. So yeah, I'm gonna end it real quick because we are going a little bit past. But yeah, shop. They need to fix Sentinel Hunt so that you can get it from there. You can get it obviously from the Relic Fusion, but you need to beat um, a certain floor, 12, 9, and 6, I believe, um, without Helper Espers, which sucks because that basically means you have to get Hilda. So pay to win content really not helping your uh, overall message and uh, image Lilith games because it's not making me happy. It's not making me enjoy the game. In fact, it's just making me feel like the game is just getting more pay to win. That's what it's making me feel like. So please just don't. I don't want this to end up like Mech Arena. Mech Arena is basically dying, and they're doing the same thing you're doing. They're releasing more stuff that's like content, but you have to pay for it, or it takes really long to get, and the game is basically dead. Like 90% of the player content is gone. So please don't make the same mistake. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. As always, AOG Gaming here. If you're enjoying the content, please like and subscribe. Really shows your support, helps me out, keeps you up to date with my content. 106 subscribers going strong. Um, I do have some bad news. I did not make as much money and did not was not given as much work at outside lands. So getting a computer will be taking a little bit longer. It's sad for me because I it's gonna be hard for me to do school. So I'm gonna have to like really try and get a job. So I might not be recording as much just because I'm gonna be trying to get a job. I'm pretty sure I can do it pretty quickly, but it might take 2 or 3 weeks. Um, but yeah, I just have to apply everywhere. Um, because I need to make money for the future. Like I screwed up. Like you guys already know if you guys have been following me. But yeah, and I also just need the computer to make better videos. But yeah, it's gonna suck. If I can get it before like halfway through the school semester, I think I should be fine. But I need to get a job real quick. So yeah, just a future heads up. Anyway, thank you guys for watching as always, and I will see you guys later.